Hello and welcome to another edition of Gourmet in the Making. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to show you how to make the simplest, easiest corned beef or pastrami you've ever had. We're going to begin by using our killer corned beef kit that we've crafted here at Go Pound Salt. This contains entirely organic components, including the salt. And we're also going to make use of about an 8.5 pound brisket. Total process takes 10 days. You either finish it by boiling to make corned beef or throw it in the smoker to make pastrami. We're actually going to show you the corned beef method, and this video will take you through the entire 10-day process. In the kit, we have 3 different packets that comprise the total brine for the brining process. Packet number 1 contains organic sea salt, as well as an organic raw cane sugar, and a little bit of sodium nitrite to help provide that nice pink color that we expect from our corned beef or pastrami. Packet number 2 contains all of the whole spices, and packet number 3 contains all of the various herbs. We're going to show you how to put all these 3 together, following the instructions on the back of the kit that will help produce the brine that the meat will sit in for approximately 10 days. Step 1 is to add the salt, the sea salt, the raw sugar, and the curing salt to water that has just begun to boil. You want to do that after the water has begun to boil, because adding the salt will actually raise the boiling temperature of the water. So you want to make sure that it was boiling to begin with, add that mixture to it so that it will dissolve rapidly as the boiling point is raised, and stir everything in so that it's fully dissolved. Now that the boiling temperature has been raised on the water because of the addition of the salt and the curing salt, we're going to let that sit for just a few minutes to finish dissolving. We're going to turn your attention to our skillet here that we're going to add our whole spices to. We have this on about a medium-high heat. We're going to add the whole spices to the pan. We're going to gently even those out into the pan. We're going to allow those to begin to toast. You can hear them start to sizzle and pop and snap. As they begin to do that, you know that the toasting process has begun. You'll see the juniper berries and some of the other spices that are in there begin to get a glossy look to them. The oils are heating up. We'll turn the heat off on our boiling water. We'll allow those to continue to toast and to pop for just about another 15 seconds. You don't want them to all come out of the pan like Mexican jumping beans, so that's about good enough right there. I'm going to direct your attention back over to the pot. We want you to see this portion of it. When you add the toasted spices to the water, it's going to foam up for just a minute, and that's how you know you've gotten the right amount of toasting on those whole spices. So just like that, the whole spices are toasted. The brine with the salt, the sugar, and the curing salt is fully dissolved. We're going to add all of the contents of packet number 3, the bay leaves, the cinnamon sticks, as well as the crushed red pepper. We're going to stir all of that in. We've turned the heat off again. We're going to allow all of that to steep for about 15 minutes. Once the brine has steeped for 15 minutes, we're now going to chill the brine. So we'll take all of the brine, pour it into a large enough metal or glass bowl to put the brine into it. And then we're going to add approximately 4 to 6 cups of ice. That's about 2.5 pounds. We're going to let all of that dissolve together. Put just enough water in the pan to be able to rinse the remaining spices and whatnot out of the pot. Then we'll go ahead and let that sit while the ice dissolves. The ice is now fully dissolved. Temperature of the brine solution will now be down to about 40 degrees, between 38 and 40 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our brisket into a bucket, 2-gallon bucket. You can pick it up from a local hardware store, any of your big box stores. Put the brisket in. It looks about like this. We're going to take the brine, we're going to slowly pour it into the bucket over the brisket, Going to make sure that we have everything out of there. So we pull the last few bits into the bucket, and we push the brisket down. Want to make sure everything is fully submerged. Shouldn't be a problem. Just like that. Put a lid on it, and that will go into the refrigerator for 10 days. 10 days later, our corned beef comes out of the brine and is ready to begin cooking. So we take it out of our brine bucket, we transfer it to a large pot, take both pieces, just like that. You can see the spices are sticking to it. And then add the brine, because that's what we're going to use as part of the liquid to cook the corned beef. You want all the spices to come out of there as well. Get a little bit of a gelatinous because of the cold and because of the enzyme breakdown in the beef during the brining process. And then we're going to add some Guinness Stout to the pot. We're going to add a total of 4 bottles of Guinness Stout to this pot as well. Typically you want to cover the meat by about 2 inches. Minimum of 1 to 1.5, 2 is preferable. So in this case, we've got beautifully rich Guinness. A couple more bottles. And if you need to, you can top the pot off with just another inch or so of water, just to make sure everything is totally covered. So we're going to do just that. We're going to put just a little bit more water on it. We're going to put it on the stove. We're going to bring it to a boil, and then as soon as it comes to a boil, we're going to reduce the heat to a simmer, and we're going to allow it to cook for 2.5 to 3 hours, and then we're going to show you the end result. Our brisket is now out of the pot after just over 3 hours of simmering. We're going to slice it down the middle, show you exactly what beautiful color we have, and see how easy it slices. There's the color. Beautifully corned beef, as simple as using our killer corned beef kit. We're now going to run it through the slicer, and we're going to enjoy corned beef sandwiches with melted Swiss grilled. Thanks for joining us here on Gourmet in the Making. This is how you can make simple corned beef or pastrami at home. If you want to make pastrami, all you have to do is swap out the boiling in the pot for 3 hours, take it and smoke it for approximately 8 hours, following the directions on the back of our killer corned beef kit. People that worry about the nitrates in processed meats like this really have absolutely no need for concern. All of the nitrates have completely dissipated over the 10 days of brining. They've been absorbed by the meat. They've been converted into nitric oxide, which has then fully dissipated into the meat. And total nitrates in parts per million in this corned beef is less than 5 parts per million. Extremely safe, extremely easy to prove that there is absolutely no concern with using nitrites in the processing of meats like this. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.